My speech is on nuclear weapons and nuclear testing. Currently, there are 15,000 nuclear weapons around in existence on Earth. It takes 8,000 to wipe out humanity. We could do it twice. It takes about 200 to destroy the Earth for 200 years. But will they end the world, or will they stop us from ending the world? Despite the possible destruction, they have kept the peace. We have had 2 world wars separated by less than a decade. World War II ended about 75 years ago. That's longer than a decade. Why is that though? The assurance of destruction from nuclear weapons. But when did this start? In 1942, the US was fighting Nazi Germany, and they weren't showing any signs of stopping. So the US government employed the Manhattan Project to develop a weapon capable of destroying an entire city with one bomb. This they succeeded on July 1945, when they detonated a bomb nicknamed Gadget at a test codenamed Trinity. The bomb released 22 kilotons of force, which is equivalent to 22,000 tons of TNT. Upon seeing the explosion, Robert Oppenheimer famously said, "I have become death, the destroyer of worlds," because he believed this would wipe out humanity. How many weapons we have are staggering, as the US has about 6,000, Russia has about 625,000, and the others have between 150 to 300, with North Korea having 40, and Israel having 90. Now, there are different delivery systems and how they are employed. There's something called a nuclear triad, which the US, Russia, China, and India all employ, which is land being launched from a missile silo, air being dropped from a bomber, or sea being launched from a nuclear submarine. The US has 18 Ohio-class nuclear submarines, each carrying 24 SLBMs, or submarine-launched ballistic missiles. Each have 8 MIRVs, which are 8 warheads. One submarine contains 192 nuclear warheads. All 18 contain 3,456. That's about half of the US or Russia's total nuclear arsenal. How many have been tested? From 1945 to 1955, 1,617 nuclear weapons have been detonated across the Earth, with Russia and the US being pretty close to equal amounts of how many have been detonated. But the bombs weren't like the first Trinity tests, as they got bigger and bigger. They went from thousands of tons of TNT to millions of tons of TNT. In fact, the US's largest atomic blast, Castle Bravo, was 15 megatons, so 15 million tons of TNT. Its blast stretched 7,000 miles, and the mushroom cloud went 130,000 feet into the air. But unlike Castle Bravo, the Russians had to one-up the US by launching the Tsar Bomba. The Tsar Bomba was 50 megatons, so 50 million tons of TNT. The blast circled the Earth 3 times, and the mushroom cloud reached the stratosphere above the cruising altitude of modern-day airliners. The destructive power is unmatched, as Castle Bravo would wipe out New York, most of Staten Island, and most of New York State. The Tsar Bomba would completely destroy New York in just a fireball, and destroy half of Staten Island, some of Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York. But this is why they keep the peace. The potential for this world-ending destruction keeps countries like Russia, China, and the US from going into another world war. Called mutually assured destruction. The belief that these countries will not launch an attack because it would end their country and their enemies and the entire world. Thank you.